Hello lads, welcome back to another video, and just a second. Nice. Anyway lads, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about how good was Steven Gerrard's first season as the Rangers manager. But before we do get into that, I want to say the first time I've announced on this channel, I am playing in the Scottish YouTube charity match on Saturday the 8th of June, only like less than 2 weeks now. 2 PM kickoff at Falkirk Stadium. We're going to be versing Falkirk coaches and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a tougher team than what we beat last year with Stenhousemuir, but it is in aid of Sam H and Falkirk Foundation. So if you haven't got tickets yet, there's going to be a link down below so that you can get tickets. They only cost a tenner, and if you can't make it, any donation is much appreciated. You're gonna see the likes of Marley 13, CJ Novo, Sharp, Div, Batchy, Lewis Bucking is gonna be there now. So yeah, if you want to see all them live and in action, of course, big Vincent Company at the back for the YouTube. No, big Nicholas Ottoman, big Connor Goldson at the back for the YouTube team, and you can see him as well. So anyway, if you do want to, help out, get your tickets down below. It would be great to see you all there. It would be a good day and raise a lot of money, hopefully, for a good charity. Obviously, I've not been uploading in a while. I'm going to do a video in the next couple of days explaining why, the whole reason why I haven't been doing much videos. I haven't been really active with anything. I've done the odd video here and there, but it's just kind of a wee piss take video. So I will do an update video on that kind of stuff. So let's get in. So how good was Steven Gerrard's first season as Rangers manager? I'm going to go into detail because obviously that's what you have to do with these kind of things. You can't just say, he finished second, it's a good season. So I'm going to split it into 3 different sections, which is going to be European football, domestic football, and his signings, and overall what has he brought to the club, what kind of players has he brought to the club, and what has he changed about the team. So we'll start off domestically. Compared to last season, it looks a lot better. We finished second as opposed to third. We finished with 78 points as opposed to 70. We finished only 9 points behind Celtic as opposed to 12. We did beat Celtic twice this season, where we didn't beat them at all last season. And over the 4 games in the Old Firms, we were the better team. We won 2-0, 1-0, lost 2-1, where we could have got something out of that, and we lost 1-0, which maybe it was right for them to win that one. So 3 out of the 4 games, we were arguably the better team. So that definitely shows an improvement, because last year we were barely challenging, apart from the 3-2 game, but apart from that it was 4-0, 5-0. So you can see that we have definitely come a long way from last season. But on the negative side of things, we failed to beat Kilmarnock all 4 games. Like, I know Kilmarnock's had a good season under Steve Clarke, but to fail to beat Kilmarnock 4 times in a season is really, really poor. Like, I don't care how good that Kilmarnock side is. If we're unable to beat them once, what did we get, 2 points out of them? They beat us twice. Yeah, that is, apart from the League Cup that we beat them in the start of the season, but in the league, it's not good at all. And not to mention, we got knocked out the Scottish Cup and the Scottish League Cup, both at the quarter-final stage, both by Aberdeen. Aberdeen, who also beat us in the league, drew with his first game of the season. We did beat them twice in the league, but overall, they got 3 wins over us this season. We only got 2. We need to be beating Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, Hibs, Hearts. We need to be beating them at least 2, 3 out of the 4 times if we want to be up there. Hibs, we drew with them 3 times. The only time we did beat them was in the second phase when the title was already won for Celtic. We also dropped points to St Johnstone at home, 10-man Dundee, Livingston, who, to be fair to them, did have a good season, but we should have enough quality to beat Livingston. No disrespect. So domestically we could have been a lot better. Obviously Celtic winning the treble does kind of say that we couldn't have done that great domestically, since they almost won it unchallenged. Hearts gave them a good game in the final. Debatable about the penalty, but we're not going to get into that. So they won the trophy, the treble, unchallenged by Rangers, effectively. The league was challenged up until a certain point, up until New Year. Then we got beat by Kelly, first game of 2019, and I think that's when Celtic knew they'd won it. So for domestically, I'm going to give Steven Gerrard a 6 out of 10. because there was a lot of improvements of last year, but still not quite there. Now in terms of European football, it's a whole different story because we went through 4 qualifying stages to get to the Europa League group stage. We defied all odds to actually get to the group stage, so that in itself was really good. We beat Skopje, Osijek, Maribor and Ufa, 4 reasonably good teams, and you know, home and away it's different because Rangers are not really experienced in Europe, so to have a 2-legged affair and to come out on top 4 times, you know, that's something that shouldn't be missed. That was really good of the players and the team to get to the group stage. Now that we're in the group stage, we did have a relatively tough group. Spartak Moscow, Villarreal and Rapid Vienna. I mean, looking back at it, we should have qualified. We would have qualified if it wasn't for being bottle merchants in Moscow pretty much. We were in the lead 3 different times and we lost it all 3 times, and then we couldn't come back when we went down 4-3. So, you know, it's a big if, but you know, these things happen. If we could just hold on, if Connor Goldson didn't score that own goal, all that kind of stuff. But for European football, I'm going to give Steven Gerrard an 8 out of 10 for that, because that was a good run in the Europa League. Celtic only went one bit further and got beat in the round of 32. They only got through because it was RB Leipzig that bottled it against Rosenborg. So yeah, in comparison to them, it was just about the same. Now with Steven Gerrard being Steven Gerrard, you know, his name just attracts people to Rangers now, because if you're a young player and you think, oh, I could play under Steven Gerrard, that looks good in the CV, Ken. So, you know, the likes of John Flanagan, Ryan Kent and Novia Jaria all came. And Ryan Kent obviously being the star man out of all of them, he's been the best signing. Hopefully we do get him for next season, but it would be good if we kept him. Ovia Jaria, on the other hand, looked as if he was going to be a good signing, but then his attitude just, I've heard that in other teams that he's been out on loan, he's just, once he gets in a bad mood, that's him no wanting to play anymore. John Flanagan was poor in Europe, which I hated him for, but then he picked up his form a little bit, and you know, I'd say he got half marks for the season. You also had the centre backs of Joe Worrell, Nikola Katic and Connor Goldson. Obviously we don't know the ins and outs of the squad and what happens in the dressing room, but the fact that he went with Joe Worrell for so long over Niko Katic, it was worrying at that time. So I don't think he'd done too well there. I remember it being, if this was true, that he didn't want Katic to make a mistake because he was young and he think that would put his head down, but he hadn't made a mistake yet. Why change the team if they're playing well, Katic and Goldson? But Joe Worrell came in and he cost us that match away to Kelly in the first game of 2019, which, as I said, effectively won Celtic the league. You've got your older boys like Arfield, Defoe, McGregor and Davis. Arfield obviously playing really well, especially when he went into that number 10 role instead of just playing as a centre mid. So yeah, good performances from him in that, and then Defoe obviously picking up form late in the season. Stephen Davis, he was okay, but then you get Alan McGregor, who is top notch, made so many saves, especially in the qualification for Europe. So many great saves that kept us in it. Again, great saves against Villarreal. Really good season for Alan McGregor, except for his red card against Hibs. That was stupid. Glenn Kamara from Dundee seems to be a great signing, a great holding midfielder. You know, 50 grand, Glenn Kamara, 50 grand, I say. Then you get the foreign boys, Grezda and Barisic. You know, Grezda, don't think he's going to quite cut it. Barisic, I think, should stay for another season, because there is quality with him. A lot of people seem to forget that, and a lot of people are quick to criticise when one game goes wrong or one thing doesn't go right for the player. They're quick to criticise, and that's just a Rangers thing. Rangers fans criticise at the smallest things, and it's hard to bounce back from. I mean, Borna Barisic, he scored against us with Osijek, then he came in and he played a few good games, and then maybe he had 1 or 2 shady games, and it's not the same for him anymore. Don't know why, but I mean, as a manager, Steven Gerrard has to try and get him back to that top form, because he's a good player. We all know that. So, an overall effectiveness of bringing players into the team moving them around. I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. You know, good for our field. They brought in Kamara, McGregor, so many great players. Ryan Kent on loan. So many great players that have made a good impact on our season. But then the likes of Joe Worrell getting so much game time, and Ovie Ejaria, he could maybe, if he was an experienced manager, he might have, you know, talk some sense into Ejaria, that kind of thing. Like get him back on track. You don't know the ins and outs of it, so. But I'll give him an 8 out of 10. So overall for the season, I'm going to give Steven Gerrard a 7.5 out of 10. You know, that's could be generous, but 7.5 out of 10. I'd say he's 3/4 of the way there. You know, 7.5 out of 10. Simplify that down to 3/4. You know, I do the maths again. But you know, I'd say he's almost there. If he just cuts out the, obviously it's a lot of times it's not down to him, it's down to the players, but if he cuts out the lack of consistency, I mean, that can be quite difficult. But if we beat Kelly once, if we beat Aberdeen one more time, if we beat Hibs the 2 times that we should have beat them that we drew, you know, that narrows the gap by a lot. Then we would go into the last game of the season against Kilmarnock, where no disrespect to Dapo or any other young player who came on that game, but we obviously didn't go with our strongest starting 11 because second was solidified for us, so it was probably right to bring on Dapo, whereas if we hadn't dropped silly points throughout the season, it could have just been 1 or 2 points in it in the last game of the season. But there's big ifs, big ifs. I just hope that we don't lose points to silly teams next year, and you know, we get more than 78 points, trying for 85 points. I think that's definitely doable. Sign Ryan Kent, that's first thing to do. And yeah, I think Defoe could be a big player for us next year as well. So that's going to be the end of the video. Please do leave a like and comment what you did think of Steven Gerrard's first season in charge of Rangers. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye.